Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Lilia Parks. A potential Christmas tree shortage has hit Missouri.
And the enrollment of public schools may be dwindling.
Aubrey Jackson is here with your forecast, and Preston Rosenberg has the latest in sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Right now we have Aubrey Jackson to give us a first look at the weather.
So we can see our current conditions are pretty chilly outside. If you were outside this morning like I did, you did feel that light rain coming in. It's 47 degrees and humidity is much lower than it has been in these past few weeks. It is 66%. And then you can see today's averages are a high of 52 degrees and it's going to stay cloudy for the day. So it's going to stay cloudy and a little bit chilly throughout the day. And we can look more on that in my full forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. I know we need the rain, but I definitely was enjoying it. I was not enjoying it at all when we were on our way here.
I know the rain is good for us, but walking across campus in the rain is not too great for me. But I guess to know a little bit more during Aubrey's full forecast.
If you don't have your Christmas tree yet, you might want to find one now. Some tree farms are expecting shortages this season due to changes in the industry and dry weather. In just 8 days, Mike Hafner and his team in Pleasant Hill, Missouri sold more than 2,100 Christmas trees, which has all he had available ready to be chopped down. Because of this, his farm closed for the 2023 season before December even started. It hasn't all been confined to Missouri, though, because all over the nation, farmers are experiencing similar shortages. A farmer in Lenexa estimates he has about 50 trees left on his farm that are in the proper stage to be sold off. This year, Hafner is downsizing his Christmas tree business to pursue a new career, which is another trend that is creating a shortage, is now growers leaving the industry. A study for Springfield Public Schools predicts enrollment will drop within Missouri's largest school district. The demographic study by Davis Demographics found that middle school enrollment has dropped to its lowest point in 4 years. An increase in the number of middle school students is anticipated over the next 6 years as larger groups of students advance to grades 6 through 8. The decreasing trends are anticipated to impact high school grades over the next several years, potentially causing the total number of enrolled high school students to fall to 7,000 in 2027. At the middle school level, Cherokee Middle School could drop 200 students over the next 10 years, while Jarrett and Westport are expected to see an increase of over 130 students each. On the high school level, Parkview is expected to see an increase of nearly 200 students, while Kickapoo could see a drop in enrollment by over 400. Conversations about the district's future will start at the next board meeting on December 19th, 2023.
This past Monday night, Evangel hosted the Voice Area Recital. Here's Devin Stone with more on the story.
The Voice Area Recital was an event hosted this past Monday night. It was a place where students could show off their vocal talents for their audience and their peers. It was a performance all together to present wonderful music and sounds. The students were able to show off their voices and sing their place to showcase their talents. The event was made open so all students can come and watch the performance. As each student passed the mic off to his or her peer, the show continued with compelling voices all throughout the night. Monday night was the first time this event had ever been held. This event was a phenomenal success and was well drawn out by all the students involved. I was able to talk to 2 of the vocalists who performed that night. One student said that he thought this was the best performance he had done. He really enjoyed the story behind each piece and how they were all configured together in one piece. He goes on to say that the director of this event had put each student in place that had a certain piece that fits to his or her strength. Here is a second vocalist that I was able to talk to about the event. She goes on to say how this was a great event to perform for the faculty and the students.
That is all I have left for you today. My name is Devin Stone, reporting for Newswatch.
During the winter season, Francis Watson from KY3 reports that the risk for house fires surges. This jump in house fires results from the increased use of candles, heaters, and other electrical hazards. Chief Richard Sturts from the Logan-Rogersville Fire Protection District stated it is vital to have an escape plan for fire emergency. Sturts encouraged residents to take action with their families together this winter and create an escape plan in case of an emergency.
As we near the end of the semester, Evangel students are gearing up for their finals throughout the next 2 weeks. Study time will be essential to most, so the question arises, how should you be prepared? With places such as Evangel's Library, the Right Place, and Center for Student Success, students have access to tutors, study hall, and comfortable, quiet places to go while preparing for their finals. When thinking about time management, organizing final dates, and studying in general, it can cause stressful times for anyone. Jared Spence is a tutor in the Student Success Center, and he describes the techniques and other ways to make sure you can stay on track during finals.
Yeah, so I've been a tutor for 2 years now, and a couple ways I've helped students in the past. One of the big things, it's kind of simple, but it's helped me and it's helped students I've worked with, is just creating a list. So things can get so overwhelming when you just have it all in your head. And it's like, I've got seems like 1,000 things to do. But if you make a list, if you write it out, and you're able to see everything that you got to do and the days that it's due, that kind of makes it more bearable and can kind of settle your nerves a little bit. So that's more like time management.
Finals will begin next week starting Monday. Hopefully the semester ends on a good note for everyone, so the holidays can feel that much better.
Evangel's highly anticipated annual Christmas concert is just around the corner. Join us Friday, December 1st for an evening filled with festive melodies at Spence Chapel. The event will be held from 7 to 9 p.m. and will feature groups including Evangel's chorus, chorale, orchestra, band, jazz band, and men and women ensembles.
It's the one event a year that we do where every music group is involved that's part of the music department. It's quite a lot with being able to just create space on stage and then get everything mic'd right and be able to have the transitions between the groups go well.
Prepare to be amazed by the talent and the spirit of the season as these exceptional groups come together to create a musical concert like no other. Don't miss this opportunity to kick off the holiday season with some festive cheer. Mark your calendars and make sure to join us for the Christmas concert Friday, December 1st. Up next, there's a certain time to ship out your Christmas gifts.
And we'll have special guests come to talk about the newest EUTV Films movie. We'll hear more about that when we get back from this break.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
As the holiday season approaches and people buy gifts for their loved ones, several companies posted their recommended dates by which holiday mail should be sent out in order for it to arrive by Christmas. The United States Postal Service recommended that mail be sent out by December 16th. FedEx recommends a shipping date of December 15th, and the United Parcel Service encourages gifts are shipped out by December 19th. This holiday season, to ensure gifts are under the tree in time for Christmas, remember to be mindful when you need to ship out your packages. Cameron Lee is standing by with special guests. Cameron?
Thank you, Lilia. Evangel and EU Films is getting ready to debut the newest film, Archived. With us today to talk more about that is Kaylee Clay and Titus Smith. But before we jump into the interview, here's a look at the newest trailer.
Just never thought I'd see my life here, you know? Just online dating, getting advice from a 16-year-old.
Well, what are you gonna do? Wait till the love of your life just walks in through the door?
No, there's an idea.
Oh yeah? And what would you do if she just walked in right now?
Apologize.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. So the first thing I want to kind of go over is each role that you guys play individually. So we'll have Kaylee start. What is your role and what do you do?
So I am the director of the film. So essentially I work with the actors. I kind of manage everybody on the set, all of the crew as well, kind of making sure everything's just running smoothly. I'm also kind of working as the director of photography for this film additionally. So I'm kind of planning out all of the shots in conjunction with working with the actors in the blocking and making sure that the scenes come together on set.
Awesome. And Titus?
I'm the producer. A lot of my work is for the pre-show, pre-production. I make sure we have food on set. I make sure actors are taken care of and understand what's going on and send out the plan each week.
That's awesome. So just for anyone watching right now, I want to give a brief synopsis of the movie, kind of what it's about. We'll let Kaylee go ahead and do that for us.
So essentially this film follows Jasper Irwin. He, in college, kind of in an earlier portion of the film, meets the love of his life. And they spend a good 2 years together before chaos strikes and it drives them apart. Where we kind of come into the film at Jasper is he's given a second chance to win back the love of his life's heart, Selah Lennon. So we get to see as kind of that progression moves on, and we'll find out if he really does manage to win back the woman that he loves.
Well, awesome. That sounds incredible. So Titus, how did the idea of the movie, like the story as a whole, come together? How did that happen?
Well, Kaylee had a lot of the structure ready when we first started, but it had to go through a lot of adjustments, starting with different character dynamics. We kind of shaped it until we got something that we were happy with, that we felt would be a good story to tell. But once that was ready, we made an outline of it and then worked on the script later this summer.
Awesome. And Kaylee, what would you say has been the hardest part in preparing for the showing that's coming up?
So for this semester, we have been just a little bit on the short staff side of things. So kind of preparing everything in the post-production side. We've been managing to get everything filmed well, but we are kind of in the depths of editing. So putting together the film for the premiere has been a challenge, but one that we have all been excited to tackle together, for sure.
That's awesome. This next question is out of pure curiosity from me, and I'll let Kaylee start and then you'll answer after, but who is your favorite character in the movie?
Okay, that's a really good question. I think in this film, so we have kind of 4 main characters, 2 in the spotlight, of course, but out of those 4 main characters that we see throughout the film, I think Jasper's brother, Reese, is particularly my favorite character. He's a very dynamic character who plays a huge role in the film, particularly for Jasper. He kind of has this louder, kind of more exuberant side to him, but he can also kind of like sober down a little bit and be kind of that emotional support for, for his brother when he needs to be. So I think he's a really solid character. I'm excited to see on the big screen.
Excited to meet him on the big screen. And Titus, who would you say is your favorite character?
My favorite character, I believe, would be Danielle, the lead sister. That character has a lot of depth to her. She is sort of the antagonist of this film, but there's a lot of reason behind it. She's got a lot of love for her sister. I love watching how she unfolds on the screen. I think she would be my favorite.
That's awesome. So Titus, let me ask you this. You said you're in charge of the preparation for getting everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
With all of the filming that you guys have done throughout this semester, what was probably one of the hardest days to prepare for, filming-wise?
Hardest day would probably be the surprise party. We had to prep an entire surprise party, cake, the whole shebang, and invite guests to come to that party. It ended up being great. Everything went well, but making sure we had everything for that shoot was not easy.
Yeah. And so in terms of you said you are director of photography, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the look of everything, what do you think was the most fun part about taking pictures and making sure everything looks good and all of that?
I think so. With the director of photography position, there are a lot of different aspects of the shoot that you're kind of in charge of. So I'm prepping the shot lists and the storyboards. I'm in charge of the camera and the lighting. I think because of all of the locations that we were going to, lighting was different on every single one of them. And so trying to get the most beautiful picture and light the actors to give them their best look on camera was definitely the most interesting and fun part of kind of preparing that piece for director of photography on set.
Yeah. So you guys were talking about locations earlier. I want both of you to answer this one, but I'll let Titus go first. Where do you think your favorite location was to film at for the movie?
Favorite location would probably be, I have to go with just the archive. It's the one we go to the most. We filmed it here actually on this campus in the AGTS building, and people we worked with were very accommodating. It's been nice to be able to control everything and not worry about external forces. But it's also a beautiful room, and the desk makes for great mid shots and close-ups.
And Kaylee?
I'd have to go with our set. For a very similar reason to Titus, as Titus said about the archives, we're able to kind of control everything on set, from the lighting to the sound to just kind of where we can position the camera. And I think we did a really good job with set dressing this semester. So it was very exciting to be able to film on our very own space.
Yeah. So I know the film is being shown on December 7th. Where, Kaylee, can they go to see it?
So it will be shown December 7th, 6 and 8 p.m. at the Barnett Recital Hall here on campus at Evangel. And it'll be a one-night premiere. And then after that, next semester, it will be coming to Vimeo for anybody to watch at any point in time.
Awesome. Thank you both for coming to the show today. It was great to learn more about the upcoming film and all that it entails.
Thank you for having us.
Let's go back to the desk with Lilia and Aubrey.
Thanks, Cameron. So Aubrey, I can't help but notice your wonderful Christmas earrings. What kind of weather can we expect this week as we go further into the Christmas season?
As we go further into this Christmas season, it is going to get just a little bit chillier as we go. Chillier further and further into December, but it is staying pretty even this week. So we'll take a look at that in my full forecast.
All right, stay tuned for that full forecast.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Join your fellow students of Evangel University for the event of the winter season, Classy Christmas, hosted by the Activities Board. This event tonight from 8 to 10 p.m. in Riggs and Zimmerman will feature a variety of festive activities. AB encourages students to participate in candy guessing, coloring pages, snowflake making, Christmas stories, Christmas carols, and ballroom dancing lessons. Dress up in your best outfit and celebrate the Christmas season with your friends tonight at Classy Christmas from 8 to 10 p.m. You know, Cameron, I am so excited for Classy Christmas this year. Are you going?
I think I might make an appearance, but I'm worried a little bit about what the weather's going to look like.
Right.
And not just tonight, but for the rest of the week. Aubrey, what can you tell us about that?
I can tell you guys a lot about that, and it will be pretty good for tonight's awesome party. Let's see. So our current conditions are that light rain and 47 degrees with that lower humidity at 66%. And then our conditions today for Thursday are going to stay cloudy with a high of 52 degrees. We can say our humidity stays the same as well as our winds moving 13 miles an hour south. So it'll be a little chilly, but not too bad for tonight's party. We can see in today's almanac a low of 43 degrees and a high of 52, so not much room for change there. It is going to stay pretty chilly, but it isn't going to get too cold, so not to worry about that. We can see our record temperatures have quite a big difference in between them from 6 to 72, so we haven't quite hit any of those records, but maybe we'll see in the next few weeks. Our precipitation is staying pretty low, and that is going to change this week, but so far we can see that the 0.10% we have had so far this month is 2.89 inches below average. We can also see on the satellite the rain that is coming in to this week in our Springfield area. We can see it's coming up here closer to the east, and we can see it is directly hitting our Springfield, Missouri area. So be prepared for some of those precipitation showers coming in. Let's take a look at our radar. For our radar, we can see some of those things that we saw on the satellite, including that rain moving up, hitting our Springfield area down in southern Missouri. It is hitting mostly Arkansas right now, but it is going to move up here closer to Springfield and then eventually towards St. Louis. So bring out your umbrellas. It is going to rain later this week. For our Missouri high temperatures, we can see the pretty even across the board. We have a nice 52 degrees here in Springfield, a nice 53 in Columbia, and a 50 in Kansas City. So we can see it kind of stays the same throughout the states, not too hot, not too cold. Depending on that rain that we're going to bring in, that is when it is going to get a little bit chillier than we've expected this past week. We can also see that rain on our national forecast here coming up the Oklahoma, Arkansas area, getting it, and then it's moving here towards the southern Missouri areas right where Springfield is. We can also see some of the mixed precipitation happening further north, so that won't affect us, but it is happening to affect some of those northern states. So it is getting colder and colder, and we can speculate that that might have a chance to move down with this cold front coming in. So be prepared for possibly some chillier weather in this next month. For our 6-day forecast, you can see that light rain coming in today and then the cloudy weather throughout the week with the high temperatures staying in the 50s throughout the week. It is going to get a little bit warmer to a high of 57, but we can see that with the lows in the 30s and the highs in the 50s, it is going to stay around the same and pretty cloudy. So cloudy and chilly, but not too cold. So don't worry for those of you who are going out to enjoy Christmas lights, for example, or going out for any other holiday activities. That's it this week for Newswatch. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thanks, Aubrey. Well, I tell you what the problem is with everything I just heard is that I don't own an umbrella.
Right, I know. My mom's like, bring an umbrella to school, and I did not.
I did not listen. I didn't pack one. It's a problem.
No. Just around the corner, Preston Rosenberg will give us the latest in sports.
This and more when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
A record number of people may have shopped until they dropped over the holiday weekend, but they also spent less. According to data released by the National Retail Federation Tuesday, roughly 200.4 million people shopped from Thanksgiving Day through Cyber Monday. Compare that to 196.7 million people who shopped during the same time period last year. The data also shows that about 134 million people shopped online, while roughly 121 million shoppers went into a physical store. However, the retail trade group says that shoppers spent on average $321 during the 5 days. That's an average of $4 less than what was spent over the same time last year. The NRF also says that for the first time ever, personal care or beauty items were among the top gifts shoppers bought during the 5-day period. You know, it's almost hard for me to believe that this is the first time that beauty products have been in the top 5.
Right, I feel like a lot of people do buy beauty products all throughout the year, and especially during this season.
I think we can blame it on TikTok because TikTok has introduced a couple new products and everyone's wanting to try them, specifically the women, you know.
Right.
But it's hard to believe that with all this spending, there's much larger purchases happening in the NBA. Preston, what can you tell us about that?
Yes, Cameron, let's get right to it. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban is selling the franchise after 23 years of ownership. The majority of the stake in the Mavericks is selling to Miriam Adelson for approximately $3.5 billion. The structure of the deal will allow Cuban to retain full control of basketball operations, along with some shares of the team. The MLS Cup playoffs are intensifying more than ever. The remaining 4 teams are Cincinnati and Columbus, representing the East, and Houston and Los Angeles, representing the West. On Saturday evening, Cincinnati and Columbus will kick off the MLS Cup semifinals. In the last 10 years, only one conference final has featured a team facing its fiercest rival. Newly crowned MLS MVP Luciano Acosta is seeking to push his Cincy squad to their first ever MLS Cup. The Pac-12 Conference is on the cusp of ending the college football drought and after years of its extinction. On Friday night, the 5-ranked Oregon and 3-ranked Washington take on each other in the Pac-12 championship game one last time before moving to the Big Ten. With Heisman quarterback candidates on both sides, the stakes are higher and the game means more this time last around. Next year, only 2 teams will remain in the Pac-12. The Valor men's basketball squad continues to cruise through the KCAC. Last night, the Valor men took on York University in Nebraska. Star players Coffey, Cavalier, Mason, and Pritchett all dropped double digits in contribution to the 99-75 win. The Valor are now 3-0 in the KCAC, and they face McPherson College on Saturday at 2 p.m. That's all for today. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Preston. I'm glad that our basketball team is doing really well here. However, I'm still a little sad about football coming to an end.
I know, it's sad that football happened, but it's encouraging to see what's going on in the world of basketball. When we get back, how far are people really willing to go to find their missing wedding ring?
And Aubrey is with us for one final look at the forecast. All this when we return.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch. Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Sanitation workers in New Hampshire went digging through 20 tons of trash to locate a resident's lost wedding ring. Windham General Services Director Dennis Sinibaldi said he received a call from a town selectman who put him in touch with a resident whose wedding band had accidentally gone out with the trash. After reviewing camera footage lined up with the pickup time, he was able to pinpoint the bin the trash was located in. Him and his team then dug through 12 feet of trash to get the bag, which took around 2 hours, but alas, the ring was found. Sinibaldi said it was the 3rd time in 2 years that his team has sifted through trash for the lost wedding ring. The last time being exactly a year ago this week. It's almost hard for me to fathom going through all the trouble of looking for the ring. I think if I lost mine in the trash and I knew it was in the trash, I would simply start a savings fund for a new ring.
Right, I understand the sentiment that a wedding ring can hold, but you can always get a new wedding ring instead of going through 20 tons of trash. Aubrey, do you have any further insight to this next week's weather?
Of course I do, Lilia. We can see our 6-day forecast here is getting chillier as we get further into December. We can see our lows of 30s and our highs of 50s going throughout the week, and it is going to get a little warmer throughout the week, and then hopefully we will see a drop in temperature as that precipitation comes in and those clouds also come in as well. So it is going to be pretty cloudy this week and perfect weather for the holidays. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. That's all for us today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Lilia Parks. This has been Newswatch Today.
This is our last show for the semester, so we'll see you back for the next semester in the spring in January.
And for more Evangel news, visit euvalormedia.com. Have a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.